Good evening, good morning, or something in between. So, I'm heading for the Beaver. In the Beaver. There's a town in Utah called Beaver. I'm gonna go there, of course. So, I'm currently parked at the lovely, very modern and well paved, well equipped, well visited, and well known airport of 07 Uniform Tango, Northrop Grumman, or as it was called way back when, Thiokol. This is where in these plants around here, just north of Salt Lake, are where Morton Thiokol produced the solid rocket boosters for the space shuttle. And where they are still actually testing the solid rocket boosters, the same ones, for the SLS. So there's a test stand up in the hills here, where you can actually... hello, David. Ooh, ironically, you were planning a what-if flight plan. Silver Springs, so Beaver's town. Was that the same Beaver town as in just in the Utah here, or was it a different one? I'm sure there are different beavers around. Anyway, so here's the Thiokol plant, and they even have what they call a rocket garden out here, where they are having different rockets, you know, shown up as a, you know, as a museum. And up in the hills here, you can see this, for example, this one, where the plume of dust in the mountains here. This is where they are testing the solid rocket boosters. It's not a building here per se, it's a big test stand where they'll lie the rocket down and fire it up. So this is actually where that happens. So if you've seen that video of the solid rocket booster test a couple of years back, that's where it happened. And Salt Lake, down here. And the company airport of Morton Thiokol is the one I'm situated at up here. Yeah, I'm sure there are more beaver towns. I would be surprised if there weren't. So anyway, that's where I'm headed. I'm going to do a squiggly route to get there, but that's where I'm headed. So let me see if I can do this. So this is where I am. Northrop Grumman, which is what it's called these days, but it's Thiokol. I'm going to head down here along the Promontory Mountains, and I just discovered on Volanta that this Fremont Island, or Fremont Island, has 2 airstrips on it. Uncharted, but I'm going to have a look to see if it's landable, but if not, I'm just going to have a look. Going to continue over Carrington Island, Stansbury Island. Exactly, U52. That's where it is. That's where I'm going. Gonna have a look at this. Yep, that's the airport I'm going to. So I'm gonna have a look at this interesting texture, whatever that is, and try to avoid this restricted area. And have a look at this plant, whatever that is. Sheeprock Mountains, and I'm going to pass over Delta Municipal. I'm not going to land there. And I'm going to divert a little bit to the west because I'm going to have a look at the Wawa Mountains, this mountain range here. I read a book, a novel that is set in those mountains, so I wanted to see how they look from the air. Over to Milford Municipal and Beaver, with a letter B in the mountainside, and a Beaver Ridge, and a Beaver Municipal. It's Beaver Mecca, so I'm going to put my Beaver airplane down there. That's the overarching plan. It's a bit of a long flight, so I better get to it. Cold. Nearest weather is Brigham City, has 1 degree and 299 Doesn't report any wind. Let's see if I can see any wind here. No. Well, but Ogden. 4 knots from the south. Yeah, no worries. So I'm gonna get that away and start doing. And good day, Thomas, if you're still around on your night shift. And you see still a bit of a dark cockpit in the Beaver, but it kind of changes. Sometimes I can fly for half an hour with a proper normal lighted panel. But anyways, flaps will be down and the pumping shall commence. Good day. Hanksville. Oh, good. Have you tested the short field capabilities of that plane? You should be able to land at 1,000 feet airfield. At altitude, mind you. Because some of these fields are seems to be short. Okay, let's just check fuel here. Main tanks are, well, rear is full. The other ones are, just barely used. I managed on my last flight to empty the tips. The bell tank is still full. Okay, well, you haven't tested. Well, that's, you have a few days if you want to join for the, yeah, sure. Either load up at Thiokol Airport or somewhere to the south. I can send you my itinerary so you have it. I can actually just post it right here. I shall continue my pre-flight. Rather, walk around. Park and brake. Breakers are all in. Oil, fine. Flaps are down. This checks out. That's full. Perfect. Cover is off. Let's see. Yep, that's now off. Tie down. Empty, as expected. Good. Tie down off. Evaluator. Rudar. Good. I like these clouds. X-Plane 12 is amazing. Rear tire. Flappage. Aileron. 0 fuel. Pitot. Tube. Tie down. Finished. Good. Let's get this show on the road. Beacon. Gonna take instrument lights so I can see what I'm doing. No, well, I haven't. As I said, I've tested it and I haven't really had that problem. I'm just going to say that it's that my lack of problems with the tailwheel and the Beaver is due to my superb skills. As I pump the flaps back up again. All right. Okay, good. So I'm gonna empty the center tank now. Thus, I do recall that. I think there is something about the some of these wheels in some of the planes in explained, because the airfoil lab Cessna 172 has a spazzing nose wheel, of all things. So there might just be something to it. Okay, one more prime squirt, and I think that will be it. Okay, let's just confirm. Nobody's walking into my propeller. If you are, prepared to be thrown on the barbecue. Um, 07 Uniform Tango. Maybe it's just... I've custom made this airport, by the way, so I don't know if it was there from the beginning. I don't remember. Okay, no, I'm not going to turn that on yet. I have a starter over here. Okay, clear prop. And here we go. Yeah, fires up. Yeah, that would explain it, wouldn't it? Oil pressure is high, but that is to be expected with the cold temperatures. Let's see what we have for hops time. 6:35. Yeah, so if you're not able to join me at Thiokol, how about you just load up at, for example, Bolinder Field, or how about you just depart Salt Lake City International? I'm going to be on flight following at least for a while, I think, so you can be a factor. Anyway, it's cold, so I'm going to shut the window. You can probably hear me better as well. Okay, let's get the engine up, because it's going to be warming up for a while. 42 uniform, so where is that? Or Uniform 42, South Valley Regional. Let's see here, get this properly placed. So there's a 42 uniform as well, Morgan County. Southeast of SLC. I'm looking at the map. Northeast. God, that makes more sense. Oh, there it is. Yeah, good. Meet me at... let me put it this way. Let's do this. So you will be departing Morgan County here. Do what you want to get across, but you can fly beneath. I think this valley here will take you clear of the Bravo Air. But meet me at Fremont Island. There's 2 airstrips over there. That might very well... No, I haven't. Maybe I'll stop by there on my way back from the event. But as I said, Fremont Island has 2 airstrips, one at the northeast tip here and one at the southeast tip here, according to Volanta. So I'm gonna have a look-see. Let's get the alternator and avionics. Good. So I'll be getting screenshots from that beautiful airport. So if you didn't see it before, well, yeah, you did see it before. So this is one of my custom airports. I thought it was already at least in X-Plane, but I created this. And I even put a crane into it because there's a building site over here. So I spent a good hour placing stuff here. For no good reason, other than just experimenting with say hello to the Raptor for me. Alright, so faffing around. Didn't I see a windsock? Yeah, there's a windsock. Ah, nice. I'm gonna have good steam of headwind barreling down the runway. That's perfect. Okay, engine is warming up nicely, so it's basically ready to go. I'm gonna have the approach frequency for Salt Lake City ready to go. Oh, I realize I'm very soon gonna be flying into the TAC chart portion of Salt Lake City, which is always very lovely. Salt Lake City approach is 121.1. Have that ready to go. You can actually listen to it now for a few seconds to see if I can hear anything. 121.1. Yes. Is there a flight chart for? Let me have a look, just in case our good friend Bill Forelli decides to join in. Ah, here we have it. Look at this. It's a rat's nest of information. No, it's a fly's nest of information. Look, airplanes. It does have some merit though, because it has waypoints kind of drawn into it. So I wouldn't necessarily discard it completely, but TAC charts are more... yeah, they're more vivid in terms of you know, colorfulness and you know, showing terrain details. So... And yeah, VFR transition route. Maybe you can take one of those. I've actually flown some of these transition routes through yeah, these ones. I think I've actually flown all of them. High IFR, yes. Ah, yeah, this makes everything so much clearer, doesn't it? So IFR charts, high IFR charts are excellent. Let's see if they at least reference the Beaver here somewhere. Nope, it's not even on the chart. How nice. Never mind that then. Let me put the TAC chart up, because that's going to be the most useful when I get closer. And off we go. Okay, let's do the controls check. So left aileron comes up and right goes down. Right comes up and left goes down. Elevator up and down. And I will do the rudder check when I rev the engine up, which I will do very, very shortly. Just getting myself a reality check here. Got battery and charging. Seems fine. Roger. Okay, then we will commence taxiing to the runway. If I can be allowed. Am I stuck here somewhere, somehow? Come on, let's go. There we go. So let's just have a look so that I don't get surprised by any major influx of traffic. Okay, engine is above the cold red line, so I can start pouring the coals to it. Let's do a mag check. That was fine. That's fine. Propeller exercise. Need some exercise. Let's do it all the way down. Nice. Okay. And carb heat. I see no ice. Good. Okay, trim is set. Mixture is auto rich. I think I'm good to go. Just gonna take the flaps down. Yes. Alright, let's depart. There is no radio on this field, as can be expected. Strobes, landing lights, and that's it. And I'll do a little spin around the pattern here just to say that the tail wheel is actually doing what I'm expecting it to do. So now it's unlocked. Now I have full left rudder. And now it's coming back. Plane seems to go where I want it to go, so I'm happy with that. Let's go. Clear on the approach end and departure end. Good. Will be a rolling takeoff. Nope, cancel that. I'm having no airspeed indication, so I'm gonna do this. It's usually my hack to get that working. How about now? Now it's working, good. Full RPM, and we have takeoff power. Airspeed alive, engine is actually more or less in the green. And nose is already down. How nice. And here we go. See if I can get a good shot of flying past that crane. Oh, that was horrific. Yeah, it was basically invisible. Anyway, never mind that. Let's power back. Commence pumping flaps again. Take them all the way up. So anyway, as I said, this location is filled with space exploration history, as the boosters for the space shuttle and for the current space launch system for Artemis. Those boosters are being... I'm not sure if they're being manufactured here still, but they are tested up in these hills here. And back in the day, they were manufactured and built here and tested. Kind of a strange place for that to happen when the space shuttle... Oh, good grief! There's a wind shift going on. The space shuttle was sent from Florida, but then again, a lot of factors involved in space exploration. I see Mr. Carbheat has followed. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Hope you're enjoying a little beaverific flight into the... hopefully not into the Salt Lake, because I'm going to try to avoid that. That's my plan, at least. But then again, I'm going to do something stupid here in a few seconds that might very well land me inside the lake. So here we have the testing stand for the solid rocket boosters. See the plume in the hills. And again, for anyone who's seeing this now or later, go look up solid rocket booster test on YouTube. You will see a fantastic video of one of those rockets being tested up in the hills here, and it's absolutely amazing.
Monterey Tower, Cirrus 708 Charlie Tango, ready for IFR departure.
VFox, hello.
708 Charlie Tango, Monterey Tower, runway 10 right, clear for takeoff.
Let's squelch this. And yes, VFox, indeed. I'm not sure if you're referencing the same blowing up stuff, but they had an explosion at the Thiokol factory here in outside of Salt Lake back in the late 80s, I think. That was actually happening at the same time that they were coming up with a solution for the problems they had with the booster after the Challenger space shuttle accident. So they had one of those, some sort of explosion thing that really destroyed a lot of things. I don't think many people were hurt, but it was really, really bad. So if you're referencing something that happened in early 80s, that's indeed where that happened. Yep. So I had actually forgotten about that until you mentioned it. I was drawn to the left here. I'm not going to be following that. I'm going to follow that ridge in front of me here and go southbound. That's where I'm going. So if anyone is very curious about the space shuttle and the solid rocket boosters and how that Challenger accident happened, they should read the book by one of the people working at Thiokol, Alan McDonald. The book is called Truth, Lies and O-Rings. Big tome of a book where he goes into great detail about the huge clusterfuck that was that accident. Such an avoidable situation, but it's just how people can get lured into situations where they allow things to progress towards failure without knowing it. So, but very interesting that simple rubber seal can bring down a whole space shuttle. Then again, the next space shuttle that was brought down by a piece of foam. So spaceflight is not easy. Ogden is indeed untowered. So go ahead and make use of that. Let's see here. So kind of altitude is sensible here. Maybe I'll stay around here, just shy of 7,000 feet. This looks very salty. By the way, can I get basically a radio or sound check from people watching? I just adjusted my ATC volumes a little bit earlier because I noticed it was kind of soft. So I put the approach frequency back on so you can hear if they are talking again. If you could hear them at all. So I'm gonna see if they come up again. Nope, but right now there's nothing but me. There's me and the engine. Hopefully you can hear the engine. The approach frequency is pretty quiet right now. Good. The engine is the most important. So the first and most important layer is the engine, and then maybe ATC or me. Yeah, I was referencing the music, Thomas. I'm sorry for offending you by calling it an engine. Or a motor, if that's the difference. Let's listen to the sewing machine.
Charlie Tango, right turn direct, Salinas, resume on navigation.
Right turn direct, Salinas, resume on navigation, Sirius 8 Charlie Tango.
I guess you heard that.
Missoula Tower, Twin Cessna 10 Charlie, runway 12, ready for departure.
Number 10 Charlie, Missoula Tower, wind calm, runway 12, clear for takeoff.
12
Metal
clear takeoff,
fuel,
12 Charlie.
oil, quartered, yes. So how's the balance? Is it okay, or is it over too much, the ATC? Does it make sense?
Ground clearance delivery, Skyhawk 2720 Papa.
Good. going to be joined by our good friend David, who's under the Bravo right now.
272 Sierra Papa, Tucson clearance.
Tucson clearance.
Tucson clearance, good evening.
I'm gonna squelch Tucson clearance. However, I'm gonna put in 22.75 because that's gonna be the air-to-air talk. So we'll be joined by David, who's flying in the A50 to join me for some portion of this flight. He is somewhere over here. So Salt Lake City International is down there, I think. Yeah. So Ogden, well actually, this might be actually more or less over here. Ah, excellent. He's joining us in the mall, which is probably even better. So we're headed for, I think, this little island here, which is Fremont Island, where there's a couple of airstrips that I intend to at least have a look at, if not bounce by, and then onwards south. I'm just barely now entering the tag chart world. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. I'm just now above this area here. So what you see below me here is this little outcrop here, which sometimes is covered by water, I guess, and sometimes not. So you see this little inlet here. Sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's wet. So we're headed to the end of that little thing, which is the mountains ahead of me, and to Promontory Point at the lumber yard, heading over to Fremont Island. So, simple enough. Go away, Sky Vector. I see that my manifold pressure is at 28. I may have just not adjusted the throttle, but then again, I might have carb ice. So I'm gonna take full carb heat to see if anything changes. Maybe I gained half an inch manifold pressure. Or maybe I didn't. Sky Vector doesn't go away. Needless vectors. Yeah, well, it's in the name. Then again, I sometimes forget to turn it off. So if people see me just flying around with the chart up on the screen, that's not intentional. So tell me to get my act together. You do. Fantastic. So David is now capturing me on ADSB. So let's see if I can see him. Put up this traffic display. I see traffic at my o'clock, 1,800 feet above, so at 9,000-ish. Might be him. Are you 77436? No, this is 1,900 feet above me, so that's not you. I don't see you yet on my chart here, but you'll pop up soon. Are you squawking 29er November X-ray? Roger. Let me see if I can avoid crashing into these mountains. That would be a good idea, I think. And yes, Salt Lake with Sim Heaven and these clouds are gorgeous. This is stock X-plane clouds. Just out of the box. However, ortho scenery, which is needed. And Sim Heaven, which is the overlays and buildings and all that stuff. Yeah, I am in love with X-plane. Both 11 and 12, but 12 is really good. So you're beelining towards the tip of those mountains. Alright. Kind of curious that you're not showing up on my screen here. Are you squawking VFR by any chance? Yes, I see out the traffic here, so it's not fine. You should be basically over here somewhere. I see a target 2,000 feet above me, but that's pretty far away. So you're behind me, coming through just north of the road that meets the squared edge. So I'm guessing somewhere around here. Yeah, it's annoying. Well, I guess I'll just have to pretend that you're around. Yeah, you should be, according to the PilotEdge map, you are over this bridge here. But so you can see me. Let me try. No, that's I shouldn't be able. Shouldn't need to. No, my graphic settings are basically on full, so... Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and have a look at this. There's the airstrip, actually. Oh, look at this blinding sun here. So I'm gonna dive down to this little airstrip down here. Have a look-see. Are you on 2275, David? Radio check. Nice. I think this island is going to be too inviting to not come into land at. I mean, look at it. So here's an airstrip. Let's see if I can find my zoom lever. That's...
Got your vision.
Yeah, I got you inside. Not getting all the... Well, actually, he didn't say much. He just said, got you in visual. So, he, you know... Yeah, so that's all he said, so... So there's an international airport, very important airport, very historically important airport. And what is this? House, and there's also an airstrip over here somewhere. But I'm going to be on. So this is a runway. What is it? 28? No, 08. So I'm going to just plot that in so I have something to reference. I'm going to be turning around to join left downwind runway 8.
Okay, not sure I see an airport here, but I'll just follow you.
Roger. It's not a airport, it's a tiny airstrip.
Alright, so it might just be referenced if you have ortho, because I don't have ortho here. I don't see.
Oh, yeah, well, that will be it. It's, I wouldn't say it's prominent in the ortho, but it's there. Of course, don't land if you see water. Should probably not have to say that, but...
Yeah, I see the beach looks like it's long, straight, and flat, where I can land.
Very good. So it's basically on the beach. I'm on a left downwind now. It's about... how long is that runway? 1,500 feet. Difficult to gauge my altitude here because of the blinding water. So, yeah, well, I have a radio altimeter, so I'm at about 2,000 feet. That's why I have that. Let's see if I can get down here. I need to move this flap lever. It's too far away. Oh no, what is this noisy, buggy thing? That's the,
That
ortho.
That flashing you're seeing is the ortho on top of the water without the symmetry.
Yeah, so there we have that. Have you heard any word about when or if that will be fixed?
Well, right now the issue is Laminar hasn't given the devs any information on how to parse it out.
Okay, let's see here. I'll get my map back so I can see wind. 10 knot crosswind, that's perfect. I've got a lot of fuel in this plane, so not going to be stopping on a dime here.
Looks like your land may go flatter than mine did.
Not sure this terrain is actually inviting me because it doesn't look as flat from here. No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I see talk about ground loops. I'm not having it.
I'll be landing through some trees for the...
As I said, I'm not having it. Ground loops are so 2022. So I'm ahead of my times. Not having it. Take off flaps set. And here we go. Here is David in his ass dragon Maule or Bonanza. So I'm gonna just turn around and have a look-see around. Thomas, I'm afraid to disappoint you about my lack of ground loop. It is a cool place though, isn't it? So this is actually something that people apparently use for landing strip at this island. There's one on the other side, and I'm not gonna go look at it yet. I'm just gonna fly over there and have a look. So let's depart. Rolling. Nope, I'm not. There was my ground loop. I had not locked my tail wheel yet. Come on, get going. Cancelling that. That's not gonna work. Taxiing back and trying again. So that steep hill, the crosswind, and the unlocked tail wheel. That was not good. Or it might have been that thing that you were talking about, David. But I'm gonna try to roll forward a little bit before I start pouring the coals to it, and then it should be unlocked. Come on, for God's sake. Yeah, maybe that's it. You wouldn't mind leaving work. Well, can't you just call in well? Well, you see I'm sitting on a slope here, and I have a pretty hefty wind, so let me see if I can, I have some new camera angles. Let's see. If I can manage to lock it here. No, locked. Perfect. No, I'm full control. Tail now. It's just me doing bad technique here. No, maybe it's not. I'm getting thrown off here now. Let's have a look again. Because this is the first time I've had persistent problems with the tail wheel, and you look at the wind here. The tail is being pushed away, so I'm gonna do more of so I mean the no let's put it this way. I'm still chalking it down to pilot error. I'm not gonna accept that yet, because as you see, I have a crosswind. You see the dust is blowing, so the tail wants to go to the right here, which is why I'm going to the left. So when I get my tail locked, which is difficult because I need to put a lot of right rudder to go the direction I want to. Let's see if I can... Now it's locked. And it's unlocked again because I'm pushing the rudder. See, if I don't push the rudder more than this, it's gonna stay. Now it's behaving as I expect. And off we go. Yep, I think it's pilot error. And I neglected to say also that as the terrain is sloping down to the right, that will also make the tail go to the right. So that combination, you need more rudder to compensate for the wind and the slope than the tail wheel can handle before it snaps out of that. If that happens on flat ground with no wind, then we're talking. Then there's something. But I did a lot of testing around this, and never saw anything. So flaps. And I know, David, you have many hours on this plane, as I do, and I trust you to know what to do. But then again, you saw me struggling with it now. And when I didn't struggle with it, it was because I was able to lay off the rudder just enough to not have it unlock. Might be something off, but it actually functioned as expected. It's just that it's it might need more authority on the ground when you're actually steering with when you're pulling back on the yoke. It should have more friction, so that it's not being pushed and slid away. So that it might be some ground physics with the wheel, as in it slides too easy, it doesn't have the grip on the ground. That might be something, but the locking and unlocking, that does what it should be. I think at least. So, and I remember it was kind of the opposite in the beginning when we first started toying with the Beaver in X-Plane 12. It was extremely grippy, the tail wheel, to the point where it was you could tip the plane over. And I remember the Maule was kind of the same. And sorry, I'm talking to you as if I'm expecting you probably watching the stream as well. So it's going to be a kind of a weird back and forth in that regard. Yeah, of course you're testing properly. So here's the other airstrip. This one, however, looks a little bit messed up as far as terrain goes. Not sure this is very hospitable. Kind of smack on the top of this ridge, so this needs terrain work. So I'm not gonna stop at this one. The first one was fine. Anyway, so now let's see. Here we go. Here's what the map is back. We're now going to head southwest over to Fremont Island. That's the plan. were testing, as you said, with no wind and flat. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. I chalk this problem that I had now up to me overcorrecting with the rudder, so that it snapped out of controllable area, which is very tempting when you're trying to take off and the plane starts to want to go to the left. You turn right rudder, and then you turn more right rudder, and then it snaps out, and then you need to do even more right rudder, and then it's kind of difficult to get it to snap back into place because you need to be inside of those 23 degrees or whatever it is for the tail wheel to lock back in, which is very contrary when your plane is going to the left. You want all the right rudder you can. Which would be even more difficult when you were actually flying the plane in real life if you were doing that, because you wouldn't be able to do like this, put a camera like this. By the way, I spent a little time a few days ago with the camera setup. So I produced a couple of nice camera angles. So I have all these internal camera angles. Love this one. This is my GoPro cam, which is now completely washed out. I can't see shit outside because of the sun. And left wing cam, which is very gorgeous. And of course a right wing cam. And the back seat left wing cam. And the right one. And the dog cam. I have a dog sitting in the back seat, basically. But that was that. I also started experimenting with outside views. So I have this one. Skyvector still up. Yep, thank you for letting me know. I cannot see my stream window, so I forget. So there's this gorgeous one. A similar one on the other side. I created these for this testing purposes that we just did, so I can have a look at this tail wheel, and another one sitting just here, so I can see both the elevator and the wing action and the rudder. So I also have the beacon cam, for those who are into such things. Oh, look at there. We have company. And we have captain side. No. And the drinker's side. And the rear view facing cam, where I can see David in his small. And the similar one on the drinker's side, where I can also see David in his small. Again. Much fun to play with these angles. Doesn't take long either when you get used to how to set things up. This can be a nice one to look at for when you want to look at replays for approaches and things like that. And hello Carpet. This is X camera, I think it's called. But it uses the same principles in terms of programming views as explained. It's just that this one you can modify how quickly it changes between the camera angles. For example, it always snaps quickly back to the pilot view, but some of the other ones can take a little bit longer time. I set them to take longer movements. But if I'm back here and want to be in captain seat, I'll be back there faster. It's very easy to do that. These are stock views from explaining these outside views here. There we have Fremont Island. And welcome to the stream again, as I said. Hope you're enjoying it, even with the weird back and forth with David, who is flying with me, as well as chatting in the stream. So he's very much multitasking. Okay, let's see. I have lost a little bit of manifold pressure, but I've been climbing, so I'm just checking if I have carb. Ice? Nope. Well, you see me. The plane feels a little bit less stable than in X-Plane 11. I'm not sure if that's because of the model or because of the weather in X-Plane. Or because I'm very heavily loaded, or because I'm just flying badly. That's all of the above, I guess. But my last flight a couple of days ago was the same. I was kind of this the whole time. So doesn't take as much to start wobbling a little bit. But then again, that's how planes are, isn't it? They're not on rails. Oh, this one looks tempting too. Look at this. I didn't see a charted airstrip here, but I mean, I can see. I can smell that people have been landing here previously. But I'm gonna resist the temptation, and I'm gonna start heading over to that island. Because I still have a ways to go, and yeah, I just I wanted to approach the Beaver Airport before it gets completely dark. I've adjusted the daytime or the time of day to be yeah, so that I can see something, because it's by now it's, I guess, way past sunset in Salt Lake. But the weather is behaving properly the last few days in X-Plane. It's been loading weather that's reasonable. This camera angle is a little bit naughty, I think. Kind of feels like I'm looking up under the skirt of the Beaver. You know what I mean? Of course you know what I mean. Oh, shush. The Beaver jokes about... Stansbury Bay is the one to the right here, and Stansbury Island is the one in front of me here. And now you see the wobbling going around here. So let's just let go of the control, see what it goes. Okay, it goes to the right. See if I let it lean over to the right, to the left. I mean, if I leave it going to this direction, will it continue? No, it wants to go to the right. Ever so slightly. So I might be overcorrecting on the controls here. So that might be why it's so wobbly. Yeah. It will be very nice when the ortho can make land meet water more nicely than this, so you can see terrain kind of disappear into the water. That would be very nice, because that's one of the things that look really good in stock X-Plane scenery. So we have good improvements coming up. I would say that it's pretty weird that I'm not being able to see you. Oh, by the way, the fuel warning light, the standard tank is starting to get empty, so I'm gonna start dumping the belly tank. I'm gonna set an alarm for 15 minutes, so I can remember to... Yeah, good. You're trimmed and holding 7,500. Yeah, perfect. I should probably be at 7,500 too, but it's probably good that I'm not, because then I would be crashing into you. So if I can see you here now. Oh, you're probably directly below me. Yeah. But what I was saying is that I can see you in the sim, but why aren't you showing up on my traffic display? That's kind of what's confusing me a little bit. I did release the TCAS from PilotEdge, or from XPilot, so that's not a factor. And you're not showing up on before or after logging into PE. I think it was before. Refresh your transponder, just in case. Let me reset the traffic display on 4 flights to see if... nope, nothing. Nope, I see nothing. Three drones. Okay. Well, are they where are they? Just those drones? Are they close by? I see no traffic on my displays now. Oh, we have that much traffic near us. Okay. That is interesting. I see none of them. Now, why is that? Yeah, but that thing is different now because the GPS doesn't care about that, right? So let me have a look here. Try to avoid crashing here. maybe I'll try to cycle the expiled TCAS control. So now it has control, the expiled thing, and I release it again. Shouldn't have a factor, but I mean, desperate times calls for desperate measures. Nope, I see no traffic. Okay, I'm gonna try to log out of PilotEdge and log back in. I'm just gonna verify that I'm on the correct course here. Yes, so for anyone else who's watching, who is curious to what's going on here. Oh, good grief, yeah. The Streamlabs fingers you. You thought you were talking about something else. So I don't want to cross to finger me, no. My beaver comments were indeed dirtier, but I'm good about keeping it on low. Anyway, we are just making landfall here. So we should have a big airport to our left here, and the town of Grantsville, this little pond, and there's a big box of restricted, or a small box rather, of a restricted area. But I'm very curious to see if I can find out what that is. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'm gonna do the scary thing. So that's the only reason I'm a mod on your channel. So there is no other reason. You don't trust me. That's what you were saying. I wouldn't trust me either. Anyway, I'm gonna log out of PilotEdge, but I'm gonna leave it logged out for a few seconds, so that it doesn't, that I don't log in too quickly. So let's try this. And if it crashes, I'm gonna load up at Bollender Field and just go there like bat out of hell. PilotEdge is buggy. Try to control TCAS while not owning all the airplanes. Well, nope, but I shouldn't have to give you a reason to be trusted. That's something you just have to pretend that can be granted. So it's not this one, this restricted area, though it looks like it should be. The airport is over there, I think. Oh, I love this light changing system. And yeah, I guess so. So let's see. It's still not having a control. If you release TCAS before logging into Beaver, maybe I did log in before and I forgot. So let's try it. Crossing. No, I'm gonna finger me by cross. No. Okay, let's hope it doesn't crash. Nope, it's not gonna crash. And I have traffic. There we go. Thanks for the encouraging words and the fingering. Airspace ahead, less than 10 minutes. Oh yeah, that's the restricted area. So I'm gonna Try to aim above that pond in front of me. Are we not tracking to the VR? Yes, we are. Well, not tracking. I'm not tracking in a particular way. I'm just flying around. I'm flying visually, and you see as I'm wobbling around. But yes, we are going to the VR, and it's just that's the general direction that I had planned, but I'm not necessarily going to go direct. But I'll converge a little bit back, because otherwise I'll be going through that restricted area. Yeah, that makes sense to put the VR in as a visual point. Let me do that for once. Let me turn off the GPS portion and go VLOG. Frequency for the VR is 16.9. 116.1. DTA radial 344. So I'm going to put that on my tail. Actually, I'm going to put it so that I'm slightly to the left, of course, and 75 miles away. So that BMC-3A plane is hanging out with us. Yes, I did see that. There was a plane that was very close to us. Well, I'm very close to falling into that restricted area. Let's just see what altitudes that is. Surface to 9,000. So I could fly above it, but I'm gonna fly next to it. And to our left now is an ordnance depot and proving ground. So that's what all this nonsense is. Yeah, you can see the depot here. That should be a bunch of buildings. A huge place. A proving ground, whatever that is. What is a proving ground? Does anyone know? What are they proving? Let me try to avoid that restricted area. So what is that thing? Restricted area. Line with the 163. Traffic is called, and that is David, who is where are you? I'm gonna do it this way. Oh, that's the wrong one, which there it is. Should be able to see it now. It's probably on the other side now.
I'm at about your 2:30 to 3 o'clock.
Roger. Insight. So this area is restricted for some reason. Cannot not see any particular reasons, but then again.
Sim Heaven doesn't even have any buildings down.
Nope, I don't have anything either. Probably not registered. Probably some military stuff. So, David is on the 163 course inbound. Let's do the same.
Log 164. You said 164. I shifted over to the 164.
Roger. If you fly in the airspace, that might tell you. Well, I'm sure it will. Now we're outside of the mode C ring of Salt Lake City. There's another airspace coming up here, which I will pull up on sky vector that could be interesting for people to have a look at. So we just passed this one, the little restricted area. There's this one, Ordnance Depot. So, yeah, ordnance, so stuff. Weapons, explosives, I guess. For reasons of national security, pilots are requested to avoid flights at or below 8,000 MSL in this area. So they're requested, not told to, or prohibited from, or any other such nonsense. But it is actually in ForeFlight. It's registered as a warning. Airspace. Or warning, yeah. Tool is the name of it. And it's continuously open. Or active or hot. But since they're not telling us to stay away, we don't have to. Then again, if you should be so unlucky as to lose an engine and have to emergency land and happen to fly into that area and you emergency land and dump yourself into a bunker full of explosives, you might end your days and a bunch of other people's days. Which is a good reason to fly there, I guess. Yeah, I got that alarm. Fuel. I still have 4 or so gallons in the belly tank. I have room for just about that in the center tank. So I might just be able to do the magical one take on emptying the belly tank. That only works if you have a reasonably high power setting. If you're cruising very slowly and your fuel burn isn't very high, you are not able to fill the center tank from the belly tank without having a pause in between. But I'm using 30 gallons per hour at this power setting. Actually going to take the RPM down and just a nudge here. See the fuel gauge is wobbling around a little bit. Am I getting icier? Carb ice. No, 30 gallons is not high for max power. I'm not at max power. At max power, this plane uses, as in takeoff, it uses 50 gallons or so per hour. Max continuous is 45, 40. But this is about as high as I have it at 30 inches and 2,000 RPM. Maybe it's using a little bit more than maybe it should be at 25 or something, but it's not completely hysterical. But for takeoff, definitely 45, 50 gallons. That's completely normal. Let me put it this way. I know that in Explain 11 with the Beaver, I could fly at 16, 17, 18 gallons per hour if I put it down to 25 inches over 1600 RPM. So let me just, and low and auto lean. So let me just do that. Just for reference. So now we have 1600 RPM, 25 inches, and I'm burning 18 gallons per hour. I'm actually gonna change over to slightly lower RPM setting here. I'm gonna try this. Yeah, this is completely reasonable. Middle of the green and auto lean gives me 23, 24 gallons per hour. Does the yeah, the Maule has a fuel flow gauge, doesn't it? I haven't flown it as much as to remember what kind of numbers you should see from it. Oh, good grief! Yeah, that's why I haven't remembered it, because it's pounds. That's just horrific. I mean, gallons is still a stupid idea to begin with, but pounds per hour. Give me a break. Someone should teach these Yanks the metric system. Liters. Much more elegant. Then you have hectoliters and deciliters and milliliters. Base 10. Much more elegant. Though I get my skin crawls when I hear people talk about climbing to altitude in meters, but that's just because I'm not used to it. So I see these, for example, these old Russian airplanes, for example, or I think some German airplanes, they have meter indicators instead of feet. So, but I'm just used to feet because that's what all these planes use. Which is not a good argument. Absolutely no good argument. Very sparse landscape, I must say. Do you have anything at all out here? Because I'm not seeing much of anything. Did see a few trees here. That's about it. Guess I probably shouldn't expect much. There is nothing going on out here, but we'll see when we get closer to more hectic neighborhoods. Desert, bushes and trees everywhere, but no buildings. Okay, so you have bushes and trees. Okay, I don't. I have a few buildings. Oh, there's an airport there, I guess. It's not. That's not an airport. That's what the hell is that? That's the town of Vernon, I guess. There should be a tower on this side of that town, sitting on a slight elevation. See no tower. Maybe it's my this FPS thing that is. No, it's not. The LOD is very. It's where it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's a one-town road, but it's got a what looks like an float, as in float plane pond. So does your look like this? Did you miss anything run during? Well, no, you didn't. That's north of work. Are you working? Good grief. Oh yeah, you're quite a ways in front of me here. Yeah. So that's not Vernon. So that's Vernon. That's not even hilarious. That's just sad. But then again, people have grown up there. Some of them might have amounted to something. Yeah, no, this cruise setting is not gonna win me any speed awards, so I'm gonna put it back to close to the yellow. Thus, I have lots of fuel, so I can afford burning a little bit. Edson, Kansas. 4 houses, an old unused school gym, and 2 grain elevators. Yeah, that's yeah, that is true. We have mountainage coming up. And also, by the way, the Sevier, Bravo, and Delta Municipal to our left is active. So don't dip into that. How much do we need to climb? It does seem to be a little bit. Well, looks like the top of the ridge, the spot elevations are around 9,000 feet. Shouldn't touch if on VOR. That actually leads me to a question. The VOR is on the other side of that mountain. Why are we getting a reception? Or are we getting a reception? I'm getting it on the GPS, but is that the GPS fooling me with the GPS signal, or is it actual VOR? How does that work? Because I wouldn't expect it to be They don't? I thought the VORs were kind of more or less line of sight. Or do they bounce on the atmosphere? Is that how they work? Gonna have some dihydrogen monoxide here. Depends on how strong they are, but the signal has to come to us in some way, and we have to be on the radial that radiates from the VOR to get the correct signal. It doesn't help if I get a signal that is mirrored on that mountain over there. Or I could get it, but it would be a false positive. And even so, if it was bounced on the atmosphere, it will still be a wonky signal. I would, yeah, I guess I have to read into that, because I know there's a service volume thing about the VORs, that they can reach a certain distance. And, I would be surprised if that wasn't modeled in X-Plane, but line of sight would be. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't modeled, in that the VURs could just reach the distance they could reach regardless of the terrain. $9,500 should be enough for clearance. Okay, good. I'm seeing the closest altimeter here is Provo, I think, 29905. So I'm going to set that. Updraft on the north side, nice. Let's have a look-see here. Yeah, you can see the plane is slow. It's my 13 knot headwind. God, I love how X-Plane 12 looks. I am. Oh, good grief, that's true. Thanks for leeching me back. I'm I could put my little finger into the MOA. I was wondering what that green line on my GPS was. Hello, Skydiver Bob. And welcome to the stream. And yes, my panel looks beautiful, doesn't it? Have you spent any time customizing the panel? Because it takes a little bit of time to mess around with it. But it's worth doing it properly. But a secret here. There are two different basic panels here. There's one that is the classic rounded one, and there's the other one that is kind of a big flat gray blob. That one is really ugly. I think people use that for the turbine version of the Beaver, and this one is the classic one. But I did spend a little bit of time setting it up, so it's kind of a weird one, and some of the gauges are custom. As you see, they're colorful and all of that. So that's something that you wouldn't be able to get regardless. But it's worth spending a little bit of time, because it's a lot of fun also. And but anyway, thanks for joining the stream, and hope you are enjoying the Beaver as much as other people in the stream here. We're actually at least 3 people here that are regularly flying the Beaver. Ah, very good. Rep. Now we're talking. I don't know what Xbox game we're talking about. Let's just pretend that didn't happen and move on to X-Plane. But are you flying in X-Plane 12 or 11? As we are flying over Sheep Rock Mountains. 12, yeah. And as you probably know, the only way of getting the Thranda Beaver to work in X-Plane 12 is to have the right package, for now at least. Oh, the TBM. Yeah, I just started studying that one, and overflying or landing? Do you have a preference? I'll follow you, follow your lead. Let's keep moving, David. I'd rather spend a little bit of time when we get closer to to Beaver Municipal. The GNS 530 is borked in Beaver, but are you now talking about the default one? The one here? Yeah, okay. I don't look at it. I have it here because I use it, but I use the RXP GPSs. Yeah, and also what Dasudea is writing is also true, but it will be messed up if you don't reload the plane after changing around the GPSs. All the other gauges can be changed around, but the GPS is they're kind of different systems. But I also heard someone else talk about the GPS in the Beaver. I'm not sure what that was about. There was some noise about it, but I don't really care because I'm just happy that my Reality XP GPSs are working finally again. Yeah. Follow Dasude's lead here. He knows how this works. Yeah, I actually own the GTN 750. I bought it many years ago to try in a Cessna 172 when I first started flying on PilotEdge, but that type of GPS really didn't sit well with me, and also it was it was very outdated. The databases are really outdated, so it kind of felt irritating to fly on PilotEdge with those databases. But I found my ways to update these. Kind of there's a black market out there. David, is the GTN series not system agnostic, but the GNS systems are system agnostic, or is the whole RXP thing not? Yeah, the nav data gray market, yes. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, yeah. Indeed. Hardware. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see. Now I'm suddenly losing altitude here. What is going on? Carbis? Oh yes, carbis. That is a beautiful plane, isn't it? there is nothing out here. No, I don't mind at all. Lurk away and feel free to ask questions if you have anything. So Reality XP is not agnostic. Not all is all not agnostic at all. Okay. The real SimGear GNS is complete, but the real SimGear stuff, that's just a screen with like a joystick with buttons. So I would expect that to work all over the place. Okay, so what you're saying is the laminar. Doesn't laminar have a 7050? Because if it does, it could be punched down into the real SimGear thing. Okay, so that might explain that. G1000 Beaver indeed. Well, let me put it this way. After having flown a little bit with the Airfoil Labs Cessna 172 and recently the TBM, I'm officially now not hating glass anymore. I cannot hate it anymore. It's just too. It's quite a bit of fun playing around with, especially in the TBM. It's just so good. It's just so nicely modeled. It just looks good and great. However, yeah, the GCU, that's the button keyboard thingy, right? Yeah, I've actually considered it. So it's not out of the question. But good grief. The problem with all of this is that I'm a bit of a junkie when it comes to this, as you probably have learned. And it's not unreasonable that that once I start really allowing myself to get dragged into the TBM world, that I start buying the G1000 screens. I really hope I don't. To think that this simulator costs $60, something like this, and it's yeah, it never stops at $60. That's just the gateway drug. Okay, so we're approaching Delta Municipal. .27 outbound radial. Roger. I have a feeling that ice. Okay, you got ice. Well, I got carb ice. So let's see here. What does Delta Municipal have any weather? Nope, it doesn't. nearby weather is a million miles away. Perfect. Yeah, we're kind of. I'm not sure if you're seeing the same as I'm seeing, but you know, we're very close to the bottom of the clouds are. So we're kind of in that area where you kind of should expect to see ice. Just below zero here. I'm gonna put on the car pitot heat here. Is that the one? Yeah. Does that change anything for me? Yeah, I think I got pitot ice as well. Not much though, so it's not like it was crazy, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go down to 7,500. And I wasn't as high as you. I was for some reason stuck more or less at around 8.5 here. So I've been flying the wrong direction. But I'm quickly wondering if I haven't gotten the overlays correct here, because I'm not seeing anything at all. And I should be passing over a plant and buildings. I just see the road. Do I have anything over here? Nope, nothing. So I'm thinking that I've messed up the overlays here. That's very irritating. Random question. Any good CSL file for the Beavers to use for RATSIM? There's one that is made for VATSIM, which was subsequently changed or converted to PilotEdge, and then there was made another one for PilotEdge. Not sure if it works in VATSIM, but I think it does. So have a look on the explained files and the forum there, because you should be able to find it there. The one that is made for PilotEdge is really good. Good reason to fly on PilotEdge, I mean. And you won't be the only Beaver pilot on the network. Yeah, that's the Object 8 one. Let's see. Okay, so you're out of the ice. You have rain. Okay, that's nice. That's just what we need. I'm a little bit irritated about those overlays. You can see that I've messed up that. I don't have anything. I thought I had done that correctly now. Finally found out the solution for that, but do you know that if I move the overlays over and reload the scenery, do you think they will go in? Or is that something that needs to restart the sim? Because if it requires a restart of the sim... Yeah, but shouldn't there be anything around here? Because what do you see around here? Because I have whatever the airport has, which is nothing, more or less. And what you saw when I took off is not applicable, because I'm flying now into different set of ortho than I landed at. So I'm thinking that that I didn't get the overlays correctly installed. Do you have an experience with that, with reloading scenery, with changing? So you're saying nothing much else around, but are you saying that, for example, the town of Delta to the northeast of the airport isn't modeled? Because I'm looking at it now and I see, well, actually I see a few buildings. I see a church. No, I think it looks like it's actually working. Because I did see one of the Sim Heaven church, but actually some of these overlays are probably yeah, this is a bit confusing here. Oh, I turned a bit too early here. I have to go to the VR first. Let's do it this way. When you see something very distinct as far as buildings, as a specific building that you find, I should be able to see. Try to let me know if you can see something that is. The visibility, by the way, increased when I got lower. So I think we were flying in a very thin layer of cloud air, actually, or some sort of moisture. Yeah, I did see your moisture turn there. But keep a lookout for something that is, you know, distinctly put down by the overlay system, so that I can see if I can find it. Oh. It will probably look differently at your end anyway, because you have you don't have ortho, right? So you would have the stock explain overlay. I should expect to have the overstreet map soon, but there's something that makes it feel like there's something missing here. But then again, it might be correct. I have rain now as well, and I really look forward to seeing that rain on the windshield. I'm just gonna go ahead and set a lot of carb heat there, because I know, well, I already have carb ice here. And Explain isn't, Explain 12 at least, isn't shy about, let me see here, there should be a VR station here. Yep, got it in sight. Yeah, Explain isn't shy about giving you ice on the airframe. So it's good to be aware of that. I'm gonna actually have a sneak peek into my plugin here that shows ice, just to see if anything's going on here. VR icing indicator. Yes, I've got ice. I've got ice indeed. So I'm thinking, because I can feel the plane is going slower now, and I tried flying the plane with ice previously a couple of days ago. So this is not going to go well. I'm going to divert back to Delta Municipal. That's going to be my... You're stalling! Oh, good grief. 122.8, that's the frequency for that. Not going to hesitate here. So action coming up here. Delta Municipal traffic, Beaver 524 Echo Alpha is 8 miles south, bound to land, full stop, straight in on the north runway, Delta Municipal. As we were discussing on the PilotEdge Discord earlier today or yesterday, don't mess around with ice. Yeah, I'm losing altitude and slowly losing speed here, so this is shabby. Let's see here. It's gonna be runway 35 if I can get there. Are you able to survive, David, or are you going down? My Beaver flight to Beaver is gonna have to wait until the weather clears up. But I'm gonna try out switching or adding the overlays just to see if it actually that was my problem. By the way, I have found an icing, a de-icing Lua script where you can inspect the plane for ice on the ground. You have to be on the ground, and you can you know, clear it with some icing fluids, de-icing fluids that has some hold over time, so you can actually you know, depart through some icing conditions if you want to. Delta Municipal traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha, straight in 35 on a 2-mile final. Delta Municipal. Warning, airport not in current route. No, it was not planned. Okay, let's start taking down flaps. Oh, actually, wait a minute. That is not recommended, is it? If I have flaps that are covered by ice, I can break stuff. So, no, it's going to be flapless landing. Now the plane is really quickening up here. Okay, full carb heat. Delta Municipal traffic, Beaver, short final 35, full stop, Delta. I have a 7-knot tailwind, so that's perfect. Probably have ice on the runway as well, so I'm going to be skidding all over the place. So here's your ground loop coming, Thomas.
The traffic, Maule 29er November X-ray, currently at left base for 35, looking for the first trap.
Ah, good. Didn't die. Delta Municipal traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha is rolling out runway 35 at the last third of the runway, Delta. Thomas is saying if the wing ice is clearing off the wings, off of the wings, wouldn't an overhead join be safer to establish there aren't any non-Canadian pilots in the pattern with no way to speed? Well, true, but I'm not positive that my ice went away. Plane felt very weird. That might have been the tailwind, though. I do see a light out here, though. What is that?
The traffic wall 29er, November X-rays on short final 35. Full stop.
Delta Municipal traffic, Beaver, clear of 35 to the left. Delta. Yeah, see him coming in there. I'm gonna have a full stop here. Now we're gonna watch him. Wobble his way in. Can we have a ground loop on the mall? Is what I'm wondering here. Is that possible even? Nope. David doesn't do ground loops.
That was probably my best landing in the mall for a long.
I saw you took flaps.
Yeah, no, I cleared up. When I got down to about 5,000 feet indicated, everything cleared up, the ice cleared up, so my speed came.
Yeah, I had a feeling that the ice cleared up with me as well, but I'm not positive, so I'm going to taxi back in and have a check. Yeah, Skydiver up. The mall is also tricky, but the Beaver is worse, I think. But explain. However, looks just gorgeous.
Mall's easier to land the beach.
The famous tail wheel, the Beaver. Sorry if you're getting dizzy from this, I'm just toying around with the camera angles. Just fun. The sim just makes me smile. Yeah, it's we were right in the middle of what we should be expecting for as far as ice goes, and I'm glad that that you were getting punished from it, because it's. These are very much non-fiki planes, so you don't want to mess around with that. Now I'm gonna do my full stop here and pull up the inspection panel to see if I can see what my ice situation is. I didn't hit my mark here, but to the hell with it. There's only 2 planes here. And also, carbide can come off. So let's see, can I get that icing panel up? Do you have a shortcut for it? There it is. This one? Yeah, this one has already lost the ice. I don't have any ice anymore. But this one is a tool that is found on the Explain forum. Lua script, Universal De-Ice Tool. It doesn't work perfectly out of the box. There's a couple of bugs that hasn't been fixed yet, but it's easy to fix them. You can just go into the Lua and just add a few characters and it will work. So you can inspect, and it's probably difficult for you to see because it's very small. It says last inspection and it is in progress. And it's looking, and here's build up, windows, AOA, pitot, static, wings, props, engines, no ice. And this will show kind of visually how thick the ice is. And here you can choose the ice fluids, which has different characteristics. I have no idea how that works. And then you can use the ice, and the fluid has a holdover time, so you can you know, the ice, and you have some time before you can take off. So I could actually take that de-ice now and take off. But what I will do instead is I will, unless, David, do you, I asked you previously, but do you know if you can load in overlays while the sim is running, or is that requiring a restart? And the reason I'm asking is because I'm seeing, because all of this is, I think, airport property. And outside of it, I have so little as to think that this is not correct. I mean, so yeah, it's just weird. Four buildings in the town of Delta. Okay, let me let's see which direction is that? Yeah, because it's south. That's the town of Delta. So because if you don't have that either, because we're not talking about this place, right? This isn't Delta. This is just outside of the airport property. The town of Delta is the one over here. Let's see if I can zoom over there. Here I have a meager... So this is SimHeaven. I see this is SimHeaven, but I think my overlays are not attuned. This is like basic explain. But do you have the full town like this? Like what the ortho says? Or do you have this sparse? I might be just overthinking it and you know, hoping that it would be more, but it just feels so empty out here. Okay, so I'm getting pictures on Discord. It is sparse indeed, but you have trees though. It's looking south. Okay, so looks very different with without the ortho. So it looks like I have the same overlay as you do. Shouldn't I expect to have a different amount of buildings with the OSM data that is coming down with the ortho? Because if this is the same as so all that just means that this basically doesn't have a proper OSM data, as in this is a sparse area in explained period, and that's it. I cannot expect more than this. That's what we're talking about here. Because I've seen some other places that also seem sparse, but they weren't as sparse as this. sweet sounding engine. Yeah, there's sometimes the pure autogen thing is better. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm gonna call it here, and because it's almost 5 o'clock my local time. I had planned on spending this time, so it's not that it's too late, but I think it's wise given the conditions, and there's no rain right now. But then again, the sun is setting, and I think I would be better off doing the remainder of this flight tomorrow. And also, if I do this flight tomorrow, I'll be flying all the way to Hanksville or that area, because that's not too far away. That's just south and a little bit over the mountains to the east. So I think I'm gonna call it here, but I'm gonna check after I close down the stream to verify that I actually have what I think I should have. But yeah, Skydive Rob, how is your cockpit building going? Oh, great. Already great. That's fine. Good. So, spend some time just chair flying the plane, and, you know, try to imagine where do you want things to be visible? What do you want right in front of you, for example? What can you allow to be outside of your view? I mean, most people don't have this wide screen that I have, so they will have a panel view that is more like this, perhaps, or maybe slightly more up. So they will see the six-pack, and maybe the that, and maybe even the radio. But you don't see that, for example. Do you want to take off and have to look around to see your gauges, to the important gauges, or can you at least put them where they're close by? Because when people are flying like this, taking off like this, and they say, "Oh, engine in the green," how do you know? You cannot see the engine gauges. Ah, track IR, of course, because that will solve, because you're sitting like this, you're seeing engine in the green, and then you can look back again. Yeah, so that's the thing. Gauges behind the yoke. Behind the yoke, I have something behind the yoke. So, but they are mostly not relevant in flight. The mags and the starter switches and you know, the breaker switches and all that. Some of them can be kind of hidden away. Also, pro tip: put your buttons up here. You can even drag the avionics switch up here. Radio master. That whole bank of buttons can be put there, and the radio master. Buttons up top will break rep pre-flight though. Actually, that is not completely true. There is a button that you can hold to move around the camera in during the rep walk around. For me, it's the one that is kind of hidden inside of the enter key. I don't know what it's called, and it's different in my Norwegian keyboard. The one that has the @ if you hold that during the walk around, at least I think that's the default one, then you can use the mouse to look around during the pre-flight. But the walk around will be kind of weird if you have a weird button setup, because the buttons will be placed differently. But I don't mind. Good morning, good vixens. You reached me at the end of the flight, but good of you to join by. I don't think my camera well, here's the deal. The reason why some of the camera angles in the rep packages are slightly off is because the plane is not completely level. If you're sitting in a slight elevation or angle, some of the camera angles will be slightly off, so you will not be looking at where you're thinking you're looking. So, so if you can find that button, it that will be at least helpful. Yeah, so good fixins. I've been flying southbound and getting to Delta Tango Alpha, which is Delta Municipal Airport, which is many miles south of Salt Lake City, and joined by my friend David here. He's actually flying a Maule, but the Maule decided to shapeshift into an ass-dragging Bonanza. So that's nice. We encountered ice and rain and all kinds of mess flying over this airport, so we decided to divert. Or actually, we had to divert. He was about to stall, and yeah, so there was no good reason to stick around airborne. Well, 76 feet isn't too bad either. I think, let's see, what was my landing rate? 104. Never mind that one. 2,000 feet per minute. Oh, or this one, 4,400. By the way, that 4,000. Do you recognize that airplane type there? R-22? Yes, I tried a helicopter. Didn't quite. I didn't quite make it. I will tell you, it was unpretty. But I did a flapless landing today, so I'm happy about that. And I didn't ground loop, to Thomas's great disappointment. Let's see here. Okay, so the R-22 is an uneasy plane to fly. I get it. I'm gonna start shutting down here. Radio off, landing light off, and we're gonna listen to the music first. That's what I call an engine. Then that's so lovely. Mags off. Fuel off. Yeah, I understand helicopters are weird birds, and maybe the R-22 is especially so. Alternator off. Nav, begin, and I have everything else squared away. I do. Master off. window and come up again. And the door open. And now I can show you what I mean about the walk around. So, oh, let me just kill the yoke first. So, now usually this would be locked, but with this button, the at button or whatever it is near the enter button, when I click that, I can move the camera around, like so. So I can so if the camera is like this, I cannot see if the chocks are set, so I can move the camera down. Now you see this one is messed up as well, right? I can move it down. Let me see, is this one now back to where it was? No, it resets. The at key, well, yeah, but some keyboards has an at key. I'm not sure how we can do this in an. Okay, this is going to be very very honky tonk, but bear with me. I'm gonna do it literally like this. So, keyboard next to the enter button, kind of in the nook between the enter and the shift key. That one. So above the shift, there's something right there. Try that. Now that's what I call yeah, whatever that is. That button will give you this ability. But then again, it might be I might have bound that key there, and it might be differently placed in your setup. I just don't remember putting it there. And I think it works for all my rep planes. So, and I don't remember doing it for at least many of them, if I ever did it for one. But I see all the cameras now are now off. And they are not always that. So it's kind of a little bit weird. Move this over here so you can have a look at what I'm doing. The simulator is just so gorgeous. Tie down and done. It is a, let me just get out of your way so you can see the simulator, not my face. Ah. Livery customizer is indeed broken, yes. I've heard other people talk about this. I don't use it because I have my, stable one, yes. But it's, Thranda are working. I think they're getting close to fixing things now. So it's coming, but it's not quite yet. I see another one sitting on its tail here. You loaded up in your Beaver, but you didn't log out, so you're now in the Beaver, right? Is that why I'm seeing you over here on your tail? Let me see. He's gonna populate as a Beaver now. One hopes. It's one of those ass dragging. No, now here comes the Beaver. Now that's a beautiful CSL, isn't it? not quite loaded yet. There it is. This is not a bonanza. Now that's a sight for sore eyes, isn't it? That could be changed, though, David. If you, at least among us bush flying friends, if you send us your livery, we could smack it up on the CSL and you know, have that distributed between us. I'm just curious, does my flashlight work on your plane? Yes, it does. It's kind of cool. Let me see what that key is mapped for. Search keys. SimCoders, rep, view, keep pressed to pan using the mouse while I walk around the touring woods. So you don't see this? Rep, view, keep pressed to pan. Now that is weird though. Why wouldn't you see that? Let me see if I can find it here. There it is. SimCoders. Rep. So you don't have all this mess. View. Now that is really weird. So you don't have all this because here's a lot of stuff you can change around with yeah, all kinds of stuff. Oh, I didn't know you can do this. Huh. But that is worth investigating, David, because if you only have head shake in there, you're kind of missing out. There's even a toggle for off and on, or for the booster coil for the Beaver. Carb heat. The Soulmate simulations, de Havilland Beaver. I haven't flown it myself, but I've seen, looked at a lot of videos from other people flying it, and it's not bad. But it's not even close. This is the best Beaver ever, and it has some margin to it. So so it's going to take quite a bit of work for people to be able to catch up with this one. It's not impossible. If I mean, if Puerto Rico of HotStart simulations started to start in on a Beaver, I would quit my job and just fly that. I'm almost doing that now as it is. But it, yeah, the Thranda Beaver is just, especially with the red package, it's just such a complete airplane. It has so many living and breathing elements to it, and the modeling is just superb. It's so good. There's so many fantastic details, and the flying characteristics, and the sound, and I mean, you can, and it's a silly thing. You can move the seat backs and fall them down if you want. Why would you want to? But you can, right? Yes, the Skymaster is coming up, and you can take the seats out. Let's see how you do that. You do that in the loading menu here. Let's see if I can pull it up. If you click the red X's at each seat spot, you can take the seats out, and they will be replaced with cargo if you have enough loading. So you can take out the seat bench back there, and the seat benches and the seats have their own weight. So if you take out a seat, it will actually make the plane weigh less. Yeah, putting Thranda next to a / to HotStart is kind of a little bit unfair, because HotStart is, they are monsters. And Thranda are fantastic. I love them. But the depth of simulation and modeling at the HotStart level, it's yeah, you know, because you have the TBM and the Challenger. I only have the TBM, and I just got it. Toto is a beast. I don't think I could handle having a TBM level detailed Beaver. I don't think I could do it. Yeah, but mentioning Coronado next to Thranda, I know that they worked, or some of them at least, for Coronado, but it's that's almost an insult, because oh, I'm very glad to see that, David, that is working. Very good. Yeah, but this Beaver is just well, that makes sense. I can really understand that. Yeah, good fix sense. That's what they were leaving for. So it's for me, it's a fantastic plane. I love it, but it could be more. There are more simulations, deep engine simulations, that could be had from on the SimCoders side, and I'm sure that will improve with time. But for now, it's just a great plane, and it's persistent, and I love persistent planes. It's much more fun for me to fly with. So yeah, and also it's the Coronado is basically a cookie cutter approach. They just stamp out planes, and it's not for the love of flying in this same sense that we do. So good of you to join, Skydiver Rob. Hope I'll see you again, and good luck with building your Beaver, and reach out if you are on any Discord that we have in common, and if not, I'll just see you around on the stream. And everybody else, thanks for joining. And yeah, the HotStart TBM rep from SimCoders, that would be awesome. That's just exactly what that plane needs. Yeah, I know, David. Yeah, what you were referencing. No, Carbit, we're being very, very sarcastic. Yeah, this is a big slant S here. And yes, the walk around from the Charlie is coming to the TBM. I love that. I think he was very, very, very clear that that would happen. So unless there's something thrown into the spokes of the wheel there, that's going to happen. So I'm very happy. And also he's redoing the modeling of the engine, probably by necessity because of the new X-plane modeling. So I don't think shared flight will come in the TBM. I think he said so on the stream. Due to its, not natural for that plane to have that. So I guess it's a bit of a shame because it looks like fun, but it's very easy. It's a very easy plane to fly. I mean, I can more or less get away with that. So every day is indeed like a new present. I saw people on the Melvin's Discord talking about the Cessna, looking really good. So anyway, yeah, second pile will be bored in the TBM. Well, he would be monitoring the insides of his eyelids. Yeah, I mean, if I can fly the TBM on PilotEdge network IFR, after I burned the hell out of the engine during that hot start I had, I hand flew an IFR approach into Jackson, and it was fine with ATC and vectors approach, or actually I had a full approach. And you could do that even with your Gulfstream with all its bells and whistles. So the plane's complexity is indeed not very high. It's very well modeled, but it's not very complex to fly. Or you pull the power lever into reverse while the engine is off, and you ruin the whole propeller governor system, like I've done 3 or 4 times now. So anyway, I'm gonna shut down the stream and go experimenting with overlays just to verify that I haven't messed anything up. And very, very good of you all to join and to be so argumentative about can you go beta in the descent? Is that possible, Thomas? Are you joking? I've seen people do that with the PC6. But I thought the TBM would have a lockout to that, do that. The PC6 can basically just go right down. But if they might do it, okay. But it's not locked out. It's physically possible to drag it over into Because I might very well try that. Not right now though, because it's 5:15 in the morning, but might fire up the TBM to try that out on camera, I guess. Anyways, you continue chatting amongst yourself, and I'm gonna go Bedley Beddington. And thanks for joining, and good night, and good luck.